last 30 years. This is one that's just starting to gain size. I got this one maybe a year and a half ago as a small little seedling. But this is a truncata. It's actually the same truncata. It's the C form, their giant form, crossed with itself. So they took two very nice plants, one that had a very big size, one that had a very good amount of striping and a nice parastem to it, crossed it together, and it gave you like this nice beauty right here. Now this one's got a nice super woody picture to it as well, not very soft, very, very thick truncata from the truncate leaves. It's very square, almost heart-shaped, upside down. That's how they get their name on that. So this is one of mine that I did bring. I was going to bring some other ones that had a bunch more variety, but I do have a lot that are in flower right now, and I didn't want to stress them out and lose them. Yeah, oh yeah, you got a little flower over here. No, this one over here, that one. Got a male over here. Basils, yes. So now we have this here. So talk about the root system of Nepenthes. They do have these really tiny, delicate hair-like roots that come off that are very brittle. Most time when you're repotting, you're going to see your handful of them. They do break super easy, but they do have a main tap root. It's a thicker root that comes down, and once the plant is well established and growing well, you get what are called Basil Offshoots, and that's going to come. Think of it like an underground active node. So it's going to start popping out, and then you're going to get these really, really nice squat little bundles right here. And at that time, you're probably going to see this part start to die off. What I do is I always chop my main vine off as soon as I start the basil, because all the energy is going to go into those, and now I have 6 plants versus 1. So basils are
so
nice.
you cut that up where it's brown right there?
You know, that I do, not everyone does. Some people keep it going. Like this one's in flower right now. A lot of energy goes into the flower, and if this is a plant that I don't feel like I want to breed with right now, I'm not going to keep the flower on there because it's just pulling so much energy away from the plant. Yeah, if you do cut the whole main vine, then all these little basils here are going to start growing very, very large. And what you can do is follow that main root down and actually cut it away, plant it, and you have a brand new, basically clone of itself. So that's how you're cloning your plant right there. Genetically perfect, the same, every way.
So that top part you just replant.
You can do that too. So when you do cut this, if you don't really want to do too much with the top, you can just take this right here, and above every single leaf on a Nepenthes, you have this little tiny nub right here, which is a growth node. When you do plant that down into the soil, that could activate and turn into a whole new growth point on the plant. So you can start a new plant from the little cut chunks. Good thing to do is take top one. If you take this top one, cut this, stick it in the ground, or not in the ground, in your potting media.
Right.
Very, very, very high success rate with a strike. That's where your active growth point is. I'd say that's going to be a new plant for you if you do it right. Any other leaves when you start to go down here, I like to take about 3 leaves at a time and plant those. That just gives me 3 times the chance of getting a good successful strike with a node activating. And if you do want to get into this, there's more to it, but I always cut the leaves back to about right there. It doesn't have an established root system yet, so you are losing so much moisture and water from the plant right here, and it doesn't have the roots here to be able to bring that water up. So I do think it's very important to remove most of the leaf when you're trying to establish a new cutting.